Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, going to be giving you guys the best 10 brawlers in the current meta. So it's been a little while since the update, so I've had some time to test things out in Power League, in ladder, and whatever else. So before we get into the video, make sure you use a new creator code in the shop. That'd be greatly appreciated. It is 2 times the revenue for all content creators. Also, this skin is absolutely fire. It's got to be one of the best skins inside of a game. I'm sorry for a little bit of a later upload. I was watching the World Final. Let me know your thoughts on the World Final, whether you're happy that Argentina win. Congratulations if anyone is watching from Argentina. Absolutely insane game. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. Okay, so starting off the rankings, at number 10, we have Gray. So Gray is a brand new brawler within the game right now. And I think once his second star power and gadget comes out, I think he'll probably be one of the best, if not the best brawler inside of a game, specifically when it comes down to draft. I think he's really flexible and really underrated right now. His TP super is so good, especially when you know the enemy is like one shot or two shottable. You can easily just spam it straight into their faces and kill them quite quickly. And as I mentioned, with his gadget, should be able to break open the map so easily, and that's such a broken mechanic to have. And his star power allows you to heal for 1,000 every single time. So I feel like overall Gray is pretty decent. Of course, sometimes a little bit awkward to actually hit your shot, but I think as people start to learn him a lot more, he's definitely going to be insane and competitive. Okay, so just before we talk about the 9th best brawler, Gus, we're going to be talking about the honorable mentions that just missed out on the top 10. I could easily be in the top 10 rankings. It's pretty hard to really be definitive about it all, but in terms of just missing out, Gene is a brawler that is definitely missing out just on the top 10. In terms of his brand new mythic gear, it's added a lot of range to his super, and it feels like it just has infinite range right now. It's definitely really strong in really you know, like polarizing game modes like Gem Grub, for example. The next one, Penny. So Penny is always in within like the top 10. I feel like on ladder she's a little bit more underwhelming than some of the other top 10 brawlers, and that's probably why she just misses out. But within draft, she's literally usable everywhere in that safe brawler, so easily could be a top 10 brawler as well. We've also got Bonnie just missing out on the top 10. I think she's getting power crept a little bit, but she's still really strong on certain game modes and maps, and also the likes of Griff. So now talking about Gus then. So Gus is a really fantastic brawler when it comes down to a map and a game mode which is pretty defensive. You know, in terms of hot zone, for example, you can get such great value out of Gus, whether you're using a super on yourself or a teammate. You can really pop off. His gadget is still really OP. The fact that you can, of course, just kill someone immediately with the press of a button, it's pretty broken overall. Gus actually has a really easy to hit projectile, making him pretty strong overall. His super is really good, just paired with anyone, specifically aggro brawlers as well, and it just makes him such a top brawler on defensive maps. But as I said, you've got to be careful. It's got to be a defensive map and probably without a lot of grass, because of course it doesn't have the most DPS, but Gus is a really strong brawler right now. Okay, so next up at number 8 we have Carl. So Carl's still a top 10 brawler within the meta right now. Sometimes he slips out just a little bit, seen as like the meta can sometimes counter him, but I think Carl right now is absolutely insane. I've been casting the Brawl Ball League, and Carl is literally the best brawler, if not one of the best brawlers within Brawl Ball, just because of his gadget and being able to make such clutch plays. It was the most picked brawler within that league, so just going to show how strong he is in Brawl Ball. But he's also really strong in certain game modes and maps that you want really quick pressure in. You know, for example, like Canal Grande, where you can use his gadget to just get such good positioning. And as long as you've got either a good call counter or just a good draft in mind, so that you're not just getting completely screwed by call counters, he's going to have a really good impact in the game. So yeah, Cole is still really strong in his meta. Okay, so next up, as the 7th best brawler within the game right now, we have Janet. So Janet, always in between, like, I don't know, the top 3 brawlers, the top 5, 7, etc. Right now, I'll put her as 7. I feel like other brawlers are a little bit more polarizing, but still she's an incredibly strong brawler. I feel like inside of ladder it's probably more so her weakness with so much buster going on, but inside of draft, of course, she's particularly strong. But I just feel like her play rate is going down and down as the metas kind of evolve. Again, I feel like she's kind of getting power crept a little bit, but she's definitely this brawler which is pretty much good into everything. She's got a really strong gadget and overall easy to hit mechanic with her super, so I feel like she's still a really strong brawler. So 7th in the game, don't get me wrong, is still really strong. Okay, so now moving into the 6th best brawler within the game right now, we have Ruffs. So again, another brawler which is always in and around the top 6 or around 10th. I feel like right now 6th is a pretty decent place, and you probably could put him a few places lower, but the main reason why I put him so high is because, again, in Brawl Ball, he's so incredibly strong. You maybe don't see as much usage out of him inside of ladder, but again, within draft, you can always get value out of Ruffs. And with a brawler like Ruffs, you can always play the game you want. You can either go extremely aggressive, break open a map as much as possible, or you can play really defensive. It depends on the matchup and the game mode, of course. Like a Brawler with Ruffs as well, you can always play the slow game, you know, eventually get all your teammates to get that power up and then overwhelm the opponent. Or as I mentioned, on certain maps like Super Beach, you can break open a map so easily. I just think he's such an incredibly strong brawler right now. Do not underestimate Ruff's power. Okay, so now moving into the 5th best brawler within the meta right now, we still have B. So B is incredibly strong within the meta. You see her being changed a few spots every single time I do these types of rankings. She's easily one of the best brawlers within the game right now. So she has insane range. She has the capability to burst people down so incredibly quickly with those 3k shots. You can turn her 3ks into 4ks. You know the story, especially with the brand, well, not really brand new star power, but the shield star power. It's kind of new in the meta. People still choose the other star power, but the shield allows her to have that extra HP and go extra aggressive. Of course, you got a really good super being able to slow certain opponents, and then the meta just suits her a lot, being a really good anti-tank brawler, but then again, still being good against snipers, being good when the map's open as well. It just makes for so many endless kind of results with B. She's just the ultimate brawler to pick in a draft. Okay, so now moving into the 4th best brawler within the game right now, we have a Chester. So I feel like as time goes on, maybe Chester will get a little bit weaker as people know how to play against him. But I feel like right now, you know, currently on ladder, there's just so much Chester that it's pretty hard not to rank him within the top 10 at least. So I'll put him at number 4 because I feel like the right Chester can just make such insane plays. You know, probably it's hard to tell because there's no competitive data on this. You know, in Power League, whenever I play it, he's just banned out all of the time, but he's definitely really strong. He does have some really glaring weaknesses though. I think he's not like broken, but he's definitely on the stronger side. Like the glaring weaknesses is sometimes he can be pretty low on ammo. He doesn't have the fastest reload speed, and then also like when you only have 1 or 2 ammo, you can basically get taken down really quickly. But then he has really good unpredictable supers. You know, the stun super is incredibly strong. You've got the dynamite super upon respawn in Brawl is really OP as well. And if you time things right, you know, once you get the kind of 3rd, 4th level, you can burst people down so quickly, deal like 4k, 5k damage. So that's where he's glaringly OP as well. I just think Chester is an incredibly strong brawler, but as time goes on, you'll probably get a little bit weak. Okay, so now moving into the 3rd best brawler within the game right now, we have Max. And Max is still one of the best brawlers within the game. The meta still suits her pretty much. She hasn't received any nerfs, and the same story again. She's just really versatile, pretty much usable against every single composition. You know, she's not glaringly like OP, but she's just so versatile. That's the main reason why she's so high. Her super allows her to be incredibly aggressive and change scenarios so easily. Again, she's just usable with everyone, got synergy with every single brawler within the game, and she still continues to be such an absolute force in the meta. Okay, so now moving into the 2nd best brawler within the game right now, we have a Buster. So I know I definitely misranked Buster last time around. I wasn't playing the game as much, and I feel like I was definitely comparing his draft figures way more than ladder. And on ladder right now, Buster is so frustrating to play off against. He's such an insane brawler. His brand new gadget is so broken. Everything about him's so strong. The nerfs literally didn't touch him. So, of course, I can make a separate video on how to balance some of these brawlers. But overall, as I said, he's so incredibly strong. So many things that are just so, like, good that he's against. You know, of course, he's more favorable on aggressive maps. You can't just play him absolutely everywhere because he is a tank. And as I mentioned as well, within draft, you know, he's not usable everywhere. But, you know, if the opponent doesn't have the right counter in their composition, he's just going to run all over them and probably 1v3 them. Okay, so now moving on to the best brawler within the game right now. Things still haven't changed. I think that Otis is still the best brawler within the game right now. And in competitive, he's still being used just as much. The damage nerf pretty much did nothing to him. He's still pretty quick to get his super. His super is one of the best inside of the game. You know, you literally can't do anything against it. And also, he's just pretty much good in every single matchup, in every single mode and map. You can put him lane, you can put him mid, and that's one of the best things about him, is when you can always rely on a brawler, no matter the composition you're facing off against. Otis just seems to be always drafted on ladder as well. There's not really any matchup where, you know, you're ready up as an Otis where you kind of feel scared of facing off against. There's always a way you can win your matchup with Otis. So yeah, I feel like he is the best brawler in the game still. Alright guys, it's going to be it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know what you think of my top 10 ranking. I feel like it's actually pretty hard to rank brawlers right now. I feel like a lot of them have their strengths. You could literally make a case for swapping a lot of these around. But one thing I think you can't change is the top two. Otis and Buster right now are so incredibly OP. I feel like you might be hearing this story about Gray when he gets his brand new star power and a gadget. But for now, this is the top 10 ranking. So yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. and I'll see you guys next time.